One of the really cool things about art is it's actually not as resource intensive as people think. All you need is a few brushes, small brushes, a knife, middle brushes, a little bit bigger brushes. You need a mold stick. It's very simple, just a stick with a little bit of a soft ball at the end, not to damage the painting while you're working. And you need some paint, it's very simple. And then you have a piece. All we have to do is just put one stroke after the other and make sure they are harmonious in some way. Actually, the paint for this painting is very simple also, but it can't be applied in a simple way. That's the secret. It's very simple that you have to do it it's very simple in that you don't need to do complicated things. All you have to do is do strokes. Dip a little bit of paint. I have some Kremnitz white and some yellow ochre. So you get the appropriate paint, a little bit of painting brushes, a little stick, of course, the canvas, and you just add one stroke after the other. But I think the secret is of making sure the accumulation of strokes really makes sense. So painting is basically composed of many, many little judgments accumulated over time. It's a very, very simple thing, but it's a complicated process completing it into some sort of a whole. Completing the whole, that is really difficult because the painting looks really ugly most of the time. So until you get it to look good, you have to apply very many little corrections and very many little judgments and apply them effectively, because there are many, many mistakes that happen. Often the painting goes in really difficult directions. So it's very simple. You have just very tiny amount of tools, really. The other thing I do use is glaze, of course. Without the glaze, this is a glaze that I prepare myself. It's based on old master recipe. I just follow the recipe, but again, you have to do it. You can't use very basic glaze because it's not gonna work. The painting is not going to glow. So it's simple. It's a recipe. People use recipes all the time to cook, so it's, in that sense, it's simple. But you have to make sure that the entire piece works. So that's the difficult part. And that's really what is the magical part about art, that you can use these very simple tools. I mean, in the caves, in ancient caves, people used to paint with just, their hands and some sort of pigment and make little marks on the wall, and these marks are still special. So the power of art to be special relies on very simple tools, very simple tools. But to make the whole make sense and to make the whole really work, uh, there have to be a series of judgments applied. Not just technique, it has nothing to do with technique. The technique is very simple. You add a stroke and you add a glaze, and then you look at it and see, does it work? If it works, you continue. If it doesn't work, you fix it. So basically it's the judgment that you make after applying the strokes. The little judgments make the painting. Yeah, so it's really a process, and that's why it takes so long. This painting, I think I started in early 2024. Not sure, to be honest. I have to check my archive. So it takes a while for the painting to work. It used to be very, very ugly. I had to rescue from that. I have to work to rescue the painting from looking like a design. Anyway. Alright. It's called Blue Sky Mars.